everybody. It's Friday, July 14th. It's about 5:45 in the morning. I'm headed out to meet Josh. We're going to go out and put a couple of cameras out on a couple of pieces of state land this morning. We're trying to beat the heat and the bugs, so we're getting out there early. And hopefully we'll find a couple of good spots to throw some cameras up. Now that the bucks are getting their antlers developed pretty good, we're kind of starting to take an inventory, see what's out there in a couple different spots. We're going to set these cameras up for, probably a week or two, maybe a little longer depending, but just kind of see what's coming through these areas, and that'll give us enough time to move the cameras or whatever we want to do based on what we see. So come along with us and see what we can see.
They're batting right underneath the stand.
Yeah. I'm sure it's open right now.
He's like 15 feet up with no cover. Like you said, I don't think he'd get picked off pretty easy. Old ground blind. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a good spot. Backed up to this big marsh out there. It doesn't look very, it's pretty old, honestly.
Yeah.
I doubt anybody even hunts it.
Let me throw a mark on it.
Before we get dumped on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they crisscross all through here. Right, when they come out of that marsh.
This is the only place you're going to catch them in the last 10 minutes of dark,
Right. It is pouring cats and dogs. There really isn't any shelter. Trail camera number 2 set up on the little island, the little honey hole. And that's the tree right there. Pretty much either hang off of this one or this one.
2 or 1.
2 or 1. This is the tree where Josh killed his buck out of last year. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's really hard to record anything because everything's so wet. Every time I hit a branch, water comes down on the screen. Carbohydrates after a long walk. There's tons of them. So good. Well, Well, guys, as you could probably see from that last video, I wasn't able to get a lot of good footage because of the weather. It wasn't even supposed to rain that day, and we ended up getting dumped on. But we did get 3 cameras out, and we've gotten a few pictures so far, all does and fawns, and I think 2 spikes, I think. But I'm out at a different spot now. I'm out at the spot where Tommy killed his doe last year. I've hunted this quite a few times. There's a lot of deer here, but I've never actually put a camera out here. So I'm gonna trek back here. I cut out of work a little bit early today so I could get out here and get a couple cameras up. The story today is gonna be battling bugs, because in my rush I didn't bring any spray, and it's warm and there's already tons of black flies, deer flies, you name it, attacking me. So I'm gonna walk back here, guys, see what we can see, and go from there. I'm moving along at a pretty good clip today because I know right where I want to go. I not only have I hunted this quite a few times, but I also came back here spring scouting it. I think that was one of my last videos. So another benefit, another perk of spring scouting is just kind of helping you figure out where you want to put your cameras, not only your tree stands and setup locations, but your cameras, access routes, all that kind of stuff. So that definitely helped me today, because I know I've got probably 2 spots, and I know within about 50 yards, about a 50-yard circle of those spots where I want to put these cameras. So that definitely helps. Definitely been coming through here pretty good. A couple of good trails running right alongside this marsh right here. The mosquitoes are insane. But something else I'm looking forward to while I'm out here is oaks and acorns. Josh and I, in our travels the other day, we honestly didn't see a lot of acorns on the oak trees. And I think we found one tree that had, some small clusters starting. And when I was out in my yard trimming some trees, I trimmed an oak branch that was completely loaded with acorns. And so I'm not sure what the difference is or why. And a couple other people were saying the same thing, that they had some trees that had bunches of acorns on them. So not sure why there wasn't many acorns out there on that piece, but it was kind of discouraging, just because after last year of having no acorns hardly, we were kind of looking forward to it. But I'm definitely going to be checking this out here for acorns and seeing what that's going to look like for this fall. All right, into the jungle we go. Man, this looks a lot different than what it does in the fall, that's for sure. Kind of crazy. Ooh, kind of mucky too. Well, I'm not lost yet. This definitely is not a easy trail to follow in the summertime. I think I'm on the right trail. These beavers got this all dammed up out here, over in here, and it's nasty. But we're getting there. We're almost back there. See a couple trails here. I don't know if you can see that one, but it goes up that way. This one goes right through here. This is a really good spot. Just curious to see what kind of bucks it has back here. There's a lot of sign up front, up on in the main woods. So I know there's something back here, but like I said, I've never had a camera, so. Right back here is where all the oak trees are, a lot of them. There's actually a lot of them all over in here, but a lot of them aren't mature yet. But the big ones are back over here on this other little ridge. And it seemed like last year, this is where all the deer came from, was off this point going to the south. So I'm gonna put a camera out here, try to, if there's acorns, it'll be even better, but I'm gonna put a camera out here, see what's coming through. I know in the one video I did, there's a bed, there's a point that goes out over here, and there's a single bed out there that I'm pretty positive is a buck. And then I've jumped a couple groups of does bedding in this thick stuff just off the fringes of this little peninsula here, so they've definitely been in here pawing at the dirt and stuff. Let's see what these big oak trees are looking like. So this is the east end of this little high spot here. This is where all the oak trees are, and all this around us, basically completely surrounding us right now, is just marsh. So it's looking pretty good. A lot of these oaks don't have acorns that I can see, but there are a couple up here that do. This one here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's definitely got acorns up there. And then there's this big one here. See if I can see it better. This one always produces a lot. It didn't last year, but as you can see, there's a ton of acorns here. But this one here is loaded. I don't know if you can see that, but there's definitely clusters and clusters of acorns on this tree. The lighting isn't very good. Here we go. Big fat acorn. And there's a lot of them on this tree. So that's gonna be a good tree, definitely. There's a bunch of other oaks too, still searching. Just wanted to check it out, see what they got on them. This one's got some, I can see them right up in there. There's another decent size oak right here. And this one's got them on it too. There's a big cluster right there. I don't know if you can see that, but right in there. So this place will definitely, hopefully produce something. Right here's the main trail going out to that point out here. That's the trail that's coming into this. There's two other smaller points out over here. So I'm just gonna try to probably cover this whole area kind of just to see what is coming through here. I can see that they've been in here eating the old acorns, and or at least running through here. I mean, there's tracks everywhere. And there's a pretty good set of tracks right there. Definitely a nice set. I mean, it's almost as big as all my fingers at least. That's a good sized track. Running through here, out this way. That's a pretty big track. I mean, oh, it looks like there might be another trail going out right there, out to that point. So yeah, anyway, oh, here's another giant oak that's got tons of acorns on it I can see from here. Yeah, that one's gonna be a really good one. You might even be able to see those ones. That one's loaded. Well, you'll just have to take my word for it. But anyway, this is where I'm gonna put the camera, at least one of them. Kind of cover this whole kind of open area right here. Because if there's anything, I know there's something bedding out here. If there's something bedding off over in this way, coming into here, then I'll be able to catch them too. The cattails, I haven't went out in them, but if they're dry, then they could be bedding out there as well. So this is definitely like a hub spot where they come into before going out into the more open hardwoods, and there's food plots and stuff off to the west. So this is where I'm going to hang the first one. There's tracks all over in here. I mean that is a big track. That's almost as big as my hand, lengthwise. I know it's probably running, but that's a big track. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, you guys, I'm having a bit of a dilemma. This is just like picking out a tree stand spot or a tree for a saddle. Anytime I'm trying to find a hunting location, it's always a struggle. Why would the cell cam be any different? I've got plenty of options, but I'm trying to cover the most of the area of this that I can with in respect to where I think they're coming from. So I'm thinking this little tree, this little white oak tree right here, I think right here, that way, there's a runway coming through here. There's a runway out over coming from there. There's a runway coming on the downside of that hill there. And this is the open, and this is kind of like a crossing, I guess. It's like an X where you can see where they've been running back and forth through the middle of this, but I don't know. It's always a struggle for me for some reason. I overthink everything, so I think that's where I'm gonna put it. All right, guys. Well, there it is. Overlooking pretty much what I could see from my screen was from about that big maple right there all the way over to here to this small oak, maybe, you know, a couple feet each side of each, but basically this whole covering, or this whole area right here is covered. Anything that comes through here, I'm gonna get. So now we just wait, see what comes through. So what I'm gonna do now is walk over here. Yeah, this is definitely the trail. That is a big deer. I don't know what that is, but it's coming in and out of here both directions. So that is pretty exciting. It's definitely been running all through here, going right down in there. So anyway, what I'm gonna do, there's that runway. There's also a runway right up over here that comes out of this point. I'm just gonna go through on the outer fringes of my camera range, I guess you'd say, and see if it picks me up. So the camera's right in that little tree right there. Let's see if it picks me up. Should. I think I'm good either way. I'm just gonna get out of here. That was a big track. That's pretty cool. Those tracks were not there this spring when I come through, so there's something definitely using this area. Something big. Because that's not just any old doe, I don't think. So I'm gonna head back, guys. I'm getting 8 alive, and I'll see you guys probably at the car. I gotta cut out of here. I don't know if I might throw the other camera up front. We'll see. Oh my gosh, you guys. These bugs are absolutely nefarious. I'm telling you. They're absolutely insane. I gotta get out of here. I feel like Beavis. I am the great Cornholio. I need TP for my bunghole. Are you threatening me? But seriously though, guys, it's bad. Luckily my backpack's covering most of my back, so I can have my shirt up. because it's insane. Black flies, deer flies, horse flies, some new species of flies that just wants to take you down and drag you into the marsh, I guess. I don't know. Mosquitoes. The only thing I haven't had, and I'm really surprised, is that I've not had a tick on me. Knock on wood. But I have not had a tick. So it's kind of cool. But everything else, insane. So I'm gonna get out to the car. If I can get out alive, I'll see you guys in a minute. Well, guys, I made it out of the bug swarm alive safely, thankfully. I didn't put that other camera out up here because I didn't see much for sign. There wasn't many tracks. There wasn't a lot of the deer activity seemed like it was back in the back further, towards where we were. So I didn't put that other camera out. I'm going to save it for another property. And like I said, guys, thanks for coming along with me today, or on these 2 trips, hanging cameras. Again, this is just kind of a video to touch base with you guys, show you what I'm up to, let you know that I am still here. It's just been a very busy summer, beginning of summer, with the baby and the yard work and everything like that. So I'm sure you guys can relate. So thank you guys for your patience, and thank you for all the new subscribers. And I'll be putting out videos from here on out, weekly at least. So thank you guys again for tuning in, and we'll see you guys all in the next video.